Welcome back to Farel Forever. Say, what do you think would be the perfect thing to review for the second episode of my show? If your answer is not Nickelodeon's Rugrats, shut up! I mean, come on now. It was the second Nicktoon ever produced, and it used to be my favorite show on television, before Sailor Moon. Which then did lead to my crazy crossover idea of Sailor Moon, Rugrats, and Mega Man. But whatever, cue the opening! The Nickelodeon channel delivered us a mass of different Nicktoons which have accompanied many generations of children, myself included. And for a long time, Rugrats was the most successful one. And why not? What's more fun than watching a bunch of babies?
Don't have a cow, Basil.
Your syntax is atrocious.
It's because he watches television all the time.
Okay, I take that back. The idea sounds horrible, but it was in fact very well executed. Starting with the protagonists, the courageous leader Tommy, the cowardly but reasonable Chucky, the siblings Phil and Lil, whom were kind of comic relief but also had a bit of the gender role exploration theme going on. And then of course there was Angelica, a selfish, spoiled, greedy little girl who turned the lives of the babies into nightmares, just for fun. Come to think of it, she might be one of the most despicable characters on television, regardless of being just a little girl. I think the reason for this might be simple. For example, M. Bison took a bunch of people hostage, held the world ransom, and called himself a god. Sure, that's evil, but I don't know him personally. Maybe he's actually a really nice guy. Now back to Angelica. She's just mightily mean to a bunch of babies. No court would sentence anyone because of it, but I knew people like Angelica. I was a victim of them. My pre-adult life was entirely structured around the idea of bullies like Angelica lying to me, being mean to me, beating me up, and making me cry, ending with me feeling regret about my own existence and... We were here to talk about babies, right? A lot of cartoons can have excellent voice actors, a great soundtrack, or a well-written script. But being able to relate to the protagonists and their adventures is something that's not easy to do, if it's still meant to be entertaining for everyone. This show captured what it's like to not understand the world of the adults, or how babies come up with ideas about what everything means. I think that this scenario of growing up that everyone could relate to was a big part of why this show got as big as it did. This is the reason why Rugrats ran for 13 years with 172 episodes, 3 movies, a spin-off series that ran for another 5 years, a bunch of comic books, a live stage performance, 19 video games, and to just put it bluntly,
merchandising, merchandising!
And all of this from a show about babies. There was something more to it than that, right? I confess, as much as I want to praise the well-put-together scenario, I think Rugrats stands out among baby shows for being kind of risque and showing some intense stuff, which is why I've seen it be deemed not appropriate for all children on a few TV channels. Yeah, I guess shows like Ren and Stimpy or Rocko's Modern Life had much more freakish moments.
How can you say that? Haven't I given you everything? Everything you've always wanted and more. I've nothing left to give. Now it wants to call it off.
But Rugrats was set in a real, regular human world, and so you kept coming back to that. So seeing strange things never became a routine, making it almost as shocking. And this is why I've made a top 10 list of the most moments of the show, not counting any seasons past 4. Nor the spin-off. We're also ignoring all 3 movies, the comic series, the live shows, and video games. And we're keeping this really brief. And I'm playing Guile's theme over it all. So let's start! Number 10. Tommy's dad wearing a diaper because of amnesia, making him think he's a baby. Number 9. Tommy's fever dream.
What's wrong with Tommy?
It's pretty weird. Number 8. The excessive display of ruthless violence against robot clowns. Number 7. Angelica picturing what her new baby brother will be like.
No, please! I'm your big sister!
Well, now you're num-nums!
Number 6. A functioning time machine being sold in a toy store.
Lord, what eat?
Number 5. A dead mailman inside the back of a post office. Number 4. Angelica insisting that Chucky and his dad are aliens. Number 3. The babies are naked and stuff gets awkward.
Lil, could I ask you a question?
Number 2. Chucky has nightmares and they're kind of freaky.
Stu, I didn't know you were coming over.
I'm not Stu.
And number 1. Chucky is afraid of using the potty. I really didn't want to put this episode on top since everyone talks about it, but it truly is the only episode messed up enough to be on the number 1 spot.
Everybody's gotta go someday. Please, not Dad!
And that's it. I tried to tell you folks about the show I used to love and explain why it's more than meets the eye. I'm not sure I did my job well. I mean, I didn't even talk about all the characters. But regardless, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, this is Farel Forever, fading out.